So I'm just gonna talk a little bit about my experiences and what I've been doing over the past almost 10 years now. And I'm going to talk about post-secondary education and my experience in sort of the post-secondary setting and the choices that I've made over the past few years. So, like many of the students sitting here, I started out in NS in 2000, 2001, many, many years ago. Some of my classmates are here somewhere. Yeah, wave over there. So that was where I began to learn about sort of the land claims processes that happen throughout Inuit Nunavut and many of the issues that Inuit face. Once I completed NS, I returned to Nunavut and worked for a few years. I decided to join the RCMP and do that for about 4 years. I worked in Cambridge Bay and also in Kimirut, both in Nunavut for 4 years altogether, including the training that took place in Regina. And so while I was in the RCMP, I was thinking about what I wanted to do in the future, and I came to sort of the decision that I wanted to go to university. And I was a little bit older than some of the students at university when I first started, so I was sitting there with a bunch of 17 and 18-year-olds and wondering what it was that I was doing there. But I went on. I just finished my degree in sociology with minors in both Aboriginal studies and law at Carleton University thank you. So I graduated in June of this year and was approached by a professor at the university, and she asked me if I wanted to go on to a master's degree. And as I was going through my undergrad, I thought, I just want to get out of school and go back to work, and so much for that. So I said, sure, I'll come and work with you. It was about this time as well as I was approached with that, I heard about job openings at ITK for Inuit Kawisalpingat, brand new department at ITK that was sort of a research branch, and they were looking for researchers. So I applied. I was working part-time at RCMP headquarters, and I thought, I want to work there. I want to work at ITK. And so I sent in my application and ended up with an interview, and now I work for the Inuit Kawisalpingat, the Inuit Knowledge Center at ITK. So this is something I've been doing part-time for almost a year now, and ITK has supported me in pursuing my master's degree. So I'm at school full-time and then work part-time at Inuit Kawisalpingat. And I think it's a great way for me as a student not only to work on my master's, but also to be involved in research on issues facing Inuit Nunavut and Inuit that live there. So right now I'm in my master's at the Department of Geography, and I'm working on a project in Joe Haven in Nunavut. And up there we're working with a group of elders and youth, and we're conducting land camps. So this past August, I went up there to conduct our preliminary camp with the elders and the youth. And so this is a community-based, community-led project that research priorities were set by the community themselves. Researchers from Carleton University went up to the community, and because they'd shown interest in conducting a research project in their own community, to find out more about caribou health, and how that affects the health of the community as well. So I became involved in this research just this past year, and I'm starting to build on my thesis and decide what it is that I want to write about, and what aspect of the camp that I want to look at. And so far, my biggest interest is looking at knowledge transfer and how knowledge is shared amongst generations. So we're working with elders and youth and also other community participants that are helping out at the community level to conduct the research for this research project. And I think one of the most important things is recognizing that there are people at the community level who may not be in the formal education system, but they have such a wealth of knowledge that they can share and can be used to learn more about what's going on with the environment, with the caribou, and also what's going on in the community. So when I was up in Johaven, I got to begin meetings with the elders and the youth. We went out camping for 4 days, which was supposed to be 5 days, but all of you know what Nunavut weather's like, so it got cut a little bit short because of the wind. But it was, it was a big experience for me. I was sent up on my own to run this camp with a group of elders, so you can imagine how intimidated I was to be going and planning all of this and arranging it all for the elders to be working on. And so I began building my relationships there in the community, and I think one of the biggest things is not only providing the voice for the community within research, but I myself speak Inuktitut, which I'm not at the moment, but as I begin to conduct interviews and the work in the community, I can sit and I can talk to the elders in Inuktitut. I can do my interviews in Inuktitut. I can document their knowledge in Inuktitut. And I think that this is sort of the way that that research in the Arctic should be moving, and to get more people involved, not only within the academic institutions, but also to have more people at the community level involved as community researchers, because they have skills and knowledge of their own that is very similar to that of what I learn in the formal Western education institution. And so that is where I'm going at the moment. And that's sort of my vision for Arctic research, is to have Inuit knowledge recognized as legitimate within Western institutions. And I think through my work with ITK and my master's research, I think we can start moving forward towards this, and to have our Inuit knowledge included in research.